we're going to go into both GP and into Business Central. I'm going to show you basically the same order. My Business Central environment is Fabricam Corp. My GP environment is Fabricam Limited. And I'm only going to be dealing in the functional currency of the firm that I'm dealing with. So I'm going to be selling this in one currency only. I'm not going to be switching currencies. Both systems handle the currency, so that's not an issue there. So in GP, the way that we handle these types of things is that we get in, when we go into sales, we use what's called sales transaction entry under transactions. And we open up sales transaction entry, which opens up a window. And then this window here, what this window does is this allows us to enter either a quote, a fulfillment order, an invoice, a return, or a back order. And we're going to do an order. It also allows us to enter quotes. And Business Central also has quotes, but we are not going to be dealing with quotes today. I'm going to go from order to invoice, and that's today's plan. From there it is there. So when I hit order, I click on the standard order. It automatically gives me the next order number, which is fine. And then we pick our customer, and we're going to pick Aaron Fitz. Now in GP, we need to know the number. So we would either do a lookup or we have to type in what we know about it. We're going to pick Aaron Fitz, and we're going to pick Aaron Fitz because he's at the top of my list, not for any other reason than that. Come down through here. We can apply it to a batch. If we're going to save this and print this, we're going to need a batch to put it in. So we have to save it someplace. So I'm going to go, we're going to create a batch called demo, and we'll go save. And the site that I'm going to sell from is the North site this time, rather than the warehouse site. And then we can enter a customer PO in here if I wish, and I can just type in customer PO. So this is just kind of standard entry. And then when I get down to this line inside here, I get down into my what they call the rolling windows in GP. We're going to type in, and we're going to look up the Access 2-ear. So what we're going to do is we're going to sell a 2-ear and a 1-ear. So I'm going to sell one of these, and I'm going to sell it at $100, like so. And then when I flip to the next line, I can then go into here and go Access. And I could use the 1-ear here because I've done this before, or I could go up to the top and look at it. I can go Access 1-ear. And again, my Access 1-ear, I'm going to sell for $75. A little less expensive. There we are. So as you can see inside here, I've got no taxes on here because this particular customer is non-taxable, which is fine. And I won't worry about taxes. Taxes can be calculated in GP and in Business Central based upon your customer's location for the shipping location, as well as any other taxes that you wish to add. So you can have, in Canada, we can add the GST, and if you happen to be selling in the province of BC, you could add BC-PST. In the US, it would just add your standard sales taxes as required for where you're shipping it to. So if I'm shipping it to California, I've got my California state taxes. And they can be city, county tax, whatever it happens to be. We can set all that up. I'm going to do everything non-taxable today, because simply to keep things simple from that point of view. So inside here, at this point here, I am now ready to save this. I can hit the save button up at the top. Underneath the actions, I can do some other stuff inside here. I can copy and delete and things like this, and I can send attachments in email. But what I can do also from here is I can hit the print button. So if I hit the print button, it's going to ask me to save the document. So I will save the document. And when I hit the print button, it comes up with a box that asks, what am I going to print? So I can print the sales order, and I could send it by email. So this would be an order confirmation. So what I'm doing is I'm sending an order confirmation out to the customer. And when I hit print, and I'm going to use the standard template from GP, and we'll go out, and we get one that looks like this. There it is there. Order, ship, quantity, tells them what we've ordered, and there it is. It's nice and clean. That is what you get from GP. So that means that we're now sent the order out to the customer to get approval. So that's fine. So I'm going to close this, and now I'm going to pop over to here. And I'm going to go into sales here, and I'm going to use, as you can see, sales quotes, sales orders, sales invoices, pretty much the same as what you saw in GP. When we click on sales orders, we open up a screen, and the sales underneath my screen. Let me just get rid of this information over here. So I've got no sales orders outstanding. I hit new. And when I hit new, it's going to create a new sales order for me. And when it creates the new sales order, it will automatically grab. So then inside here, let me just make this bigger, like so. Under my customer number, I can type in what I know about him. It's Aaron Fitz. And there he is. He pops up automatically. There we are. We don't have to do a lookup as much. So when I pick this, it brings up all the information inside here. This is the header information for the general promise and delivery and things like that. We've got different assigned users and things like that. When I come down to my item, I come into here and I go ACCS, and it brings up all my ACCSs, and I'm going to hit my dual here so that it's exactly the same order as the other one. And I'm going to do it from the north site. I have attached Aaron Fitz in my Business Central to north, but I can also pick my warehouse inside here as well. It's there. I just had mine's defaulting to north. Again, I'm going to order one, and I'm going to give it a price, whoops, of $100. And I'm just using my tab key to move from field to field. Inside here, I'm going to make this non-taxable. As we talked about, so there it is there. There's no need for a tax code. Again, there's my $100. I can add additional pieces of information if I need to. So the rest of this stuff inside here is a bunch of information about the quantity shipped and quantity invoiced. If I go back to my GP, there's my order. In order to go in and see any more information about this item, I need to go into here, and this is where I can see my quantity, all my quantities, back order, unit costs, and things like that. I can see them inside here, so this is my additional window for that. So inside here, I can go down to back to the next line item. And when I hit tab, why it's so slow? And I'm going to grab my single ear again. And I'm going to order one. And I'm going to change it to $75. There we are, $175. So I've got exactly the same dollar value that I've got there. And I make this non-taxable. There we are there. And we've got $175. Now, other pieces of information that I have at this point in my order is I have the invoice details down inside here. This is a separate screen inside GP. We have to drill on the payment terms, and we can take a look at this and we can see what the payment terms are, if there is tax codes and things like that. This is my department and my division, so this is the overlay. So in GP, this is set by the item. So the item sets all three. And inside here, I've got it set the same way so that it's actually picking up 0, 2, and 300, which is sales and department. And then underneath our shipping address, I have different ship. I can have a different ship to than I have the bill to. The bill to is where the customer gets it. And in GP, we have exactly the same thing. So in GP, in order to do the same thing, you would have to use the customer ID here to change your shipping addresses. And you have to use your document number inside here for seeing what the documents are. And then underneath your items down here under the amount received, there's the arrow key in here, and this gives you your posting dates and things like that. So this inside here is how we do this. So the customer ID here has the payment terms and the information about the salesperson and things like that. So that's all attached up top. So that's what we do inside here. I'm going to hit save on that, and we'll go back to here. So now we've got this. At this point here, I can print and send. I can print a confirmation. So if I hit the print confirmation, which I will do, and I'm just going to preview it so we can take a look at it. We can then send this by email or by mail. This is exactly the same as what you saw before. The difference is that this sends it out as a PDF. So it creates a PDF, and with a PDF, it does do what they call the floating footer. The footer does float up underneath the last line. So this will move up and down the page based on where it is, whereas on the GP one, it's always at the very bottom, and that's because it's a set form length. Okay, that's just two different. One was designed for the dot matrix printer, and one is designed for LaserJets. This is designed for LaserJets. So that's kind of what that's about. So we can send that out if I wish. I can send it to it as well. When I click the send to, I have a choice. I can send it as a PDF, an XML, a Word document, or an Excel document if I wish. I can send it as a PDF, and then that will, I'm just going to hit cancel. I just sent it out as a regular PDF. So it shows you the PDF, and then you can download it if you wish. There is a location here to do the prepayment, as we saw before where the cash was. We can put it on the prepayment as well. So so at this point, this is already saved. It's automatically saved as you move along. So if I go out of here now, and I'll get out of Jeep. So there's the sales order. It's sitting there, and it was the 9th. That's today. And inside here, I can get out of here as well. And now I'm back to the beginning. So now I'm back, and the customer now sends me the information back, says that is correct. That is what I wish to do. You can please ship it.